have DJI Osmo Action for DJI Mic 2 connected over Bluetooth to the camera. Now the camera is connected to my Android phone Samsung S20 FE with just one cable, USB-C to USB-C. Then I tapped web camera. When I connect it, you have to select on the DJI web camera mode, and that will send the signal over UVC. There is an app called USB Camera Pro. So when I connect that, I configured it to automatically send SRT to Belabox. So basically I connect camera to the phone with a cable, so it sends pretty high quality image straight to my phone, and I can convert that to SRT, and I can send that into SRT ingest of the Belabox. And Belabox will do its thing and send it over to my home PC. That will send it to Restream. Restream will send it to YouTube, for example. Just wanted to shoot a quick video about something I've been playing around with. I have all these action cameras right here. I have DJI Osmo Action 4, GoPro Black 10, X3000, Sony. What I wanna do is have them wired to my phone. Okay, so with DJI I can use just this one cable and just hook it up to my phone. And then when I connect it, it will ask like which way you want to do it, and you pick a webcam mode. And what that does is if I use a special app, it will just show up in that app as a source, and I can then use it to stream SRT HEVC. And there's two apps on Android that I know are recommended and they work well. One is USB Camera Pro. There's a Pro and not Pro version, and then also there's a camera app called CameraFi. And that CameraFi, and both of them, I always wanted to say, they can take sort of USB and HDMI capture cards as a source, and that usually goes through what's called UVC. UVC is sort of like a video over USB. Here's my phone. Here's a DJI Osmo Action 4. I'll just turn it on. Okay. And what I want to do is get the USB-C to USB-C cable. Just plug that in. Plug the other end to my phone. And you will see now this pops up and it says, you want to do file transfer / OTG connection? No, we want to do webcam, so you select that webcam. Okay, can you see? So that's DJI Osmo Action 4 went to this webcam mode. Now my phone says you want to open USB camera app to handle it, and I say sure. You see, let's go. And then what happens is that whatever this camera sees just shows up on my phone. Okay, you with me? Now, so there is a Pro and non-Pro version. I installed the non-Pro version even though I have a Pro version, which is like a one-time payment. So just wanted to see what what you get for free. If you don't pay any money, you get the ads on top. But then yeah, so you have this, and what I've been playing is when you ride in the bicycle, I just mount this. Goes, you know, I'm on the bicycle, so this is facing forward, Action 4 is facing forward, and I do a big picture of this camera. And then in this app, this video that it gets, I can stream it somewhere as SRT, RTMP HEVC or H.264. It's pretty nice. And what you can also do is it has this feature where you can overlay the phone camera on top of this camera. So if you go into settings and do camera overlay, let's do front, I don't even know, doesn't matter, back lens, and you say yeah, do that, and you'll see there's like a small video coming from the phone camera. Which one? It's the back one, the rear one. So now I have two cameras, this one and my phone camera, combined in one video that I can stream essentially. And it has like a million of settings. This app is USB camera, and then there's also USB Camera Pro version, which is one-time payment that you just to get rid of the ads, otherwise you get ads on this app. There's a similar app called CameraFi, so that app can do the same thing essentially, slightly different way, but both of these apps, like I said, they can stream this as SRT HEVC or SRT H.265. They can also do H.264 if you like. They can do RTMP, and basically what they cannot do is bonding, of course, because only IRL Pro, as far as I know, on Android can do bonding. So you have to, if you want bonding, you'll have to think of some creative setup, which you can do. It's out of scope for this video, but what's cool about both of these apps is that with this setup, if I just mount it on the bike, like I said, this camera is facing forwards, and I can mount this phone like this, facing me, and it will just stream. You know, I'll pick a front camera as an overlay camera in that smaller, you know, window, and it works great. It works. Both of them work very well in the background, so you can exit the app and they still keep going, like in the background. And you can use other apps, do what you want. And CameraFi is a bit more expensive, but it's a bit more, in some cases, resilient. Like if this connection, if you disconnect the camera, it's USB camera app will actually stop the whole stream, but CameraFi app will keep going. So just something to think about. Otherwise, they're both great apps, I think, if they work. Now, so that's DJI. Okay, so you see, if I unplug, it's all ads. It switched to ads. I put together some slides about this topic: live streaming with action camera connected via HDMI/USB to Android device. So what is this all about? I have these cameras right here: Action 4, GoPro 10, Sony X3000, and my phone is Samsung S20 FE. It's a bit old, but still works alright for this purpose. I'll be covering two apps, USB Camera Pro and CameraFi Live. So my goal with this is hold on. 1 second. Okay, here we go. I wanna, when I'm outside, I have all these cameras and I'm like, can I do a live stream? That actually works. And the problem is that usually it doesn't work with official apps. It's pretty bad, and it works okay on a stable internet. And the problems are, it takes a very long time to start the live stream. It's easy to disconnect. It takes a long time to reconnect, and it's very unreliable streaming overall, etc. Okay, I've been playing around with streaming from phones. I have a couple of phones, Android and iPhone, and I think they are pretty good. And they can, they let's say by default they use the phone camera, and they can, if you use sort of like IRL live streaming apps that are really good for this purpose, they will allow you to stream SRT HEVC, which works much better with unstable internet. They have a dynamic bitrate, bonding, that means they can use multiple SIM cards, connections, things like that, etc., etc. So I'll put my face on top of the second column so we can focus on the first. So with action cameras, the later cameras, they can stream by themselves wirelessly. They can do RTMP H.264, which is a bit older protocol and needs a bit more bitrate, and it looks a bit worse when you lower the bitrate anyhow, and doesn't really work that well on a unstable internet. But with phone apps, you can stream SRT HEVC, also known as H.265, and there's like all kinds of other good things, and they can actually work better on unstable internet. And worth mentioning is Moblin app on iPhone, and I just put together a video how to make it work on Android with IRL Pro, and also Belabox. Anyhow, they can sort of take the signal, RTMP signal from your action camera, and like restream it through. You can restream it to the phone as a different format and different protocol, and that helps a lot with making it work. So if you go wireless, that's what you do. But in this video, and I already have some videos on my channel about that, I want to focus on the wired. So I've been playing around, like if I connect DJI Action 4, I can use just one USB-C to USB-C cable and connect it directly to my phone, and that works. And with some other cameras, it's a bit more complicated when you go HDMI way, sort of. Some of these like Sony X3000 has a HDMI output, and you can use something like this. That's Elgato Cam Link. I think that's original one, not the 4K one. And so you see it takes in HDMI and converts it to USB. Also, like this will be what's called UVC. It's sort of like a video over USB. It's a special kind of like a webcam mode. Anyhow, DJI has this webcam mode built in. It doesn't have HDMI out, but it sends the UVC from the camera, and then that means you can just connect it with this one cable, and if you use special apps, they will be able to use that signal, and and you go from there. Anyhow, so with HDMI, like I said, you need to have this like a HDMI capture card, and it gets a bit more complicated. It's more cables, adapters, things like that. So, but what I'm trying to say is there's some advantages doing it. So if you go wired, so if you decide to go this way, there's like two main Android apps that people recommend, and this video is about that. So next slide. Sometimes people say, why don't you just stream with the phone camera? And I say there are like a million reasons. Stabilization is not as good, and different mounting options. You can carry extra batteries for your action camera. It has good wireless mics. It's a different look, etc, etc. So like I said, this is the gear that I have. So for DJI Osmo Action 4, it doesn't have HDMI output, but it has very good webcam mode. So all I have to do is I get this one USB-C to USB-C cable, I plug it into my phone, and it works. Like the signals coming through, I can see what's the video from Action Cam, and I can also use the wireless mic like DJI mic with it as well, and it all works. And then I have a couple of the cameras, Sony X3000 and GoPro. So you cannot really do USB, you cannot use their USB, they don't have that kind of mode, the UVC or webcam mode, so you have to go HDMI way. So the good thing is Sony X3000 has it built in, and that's that. And you can connect a bunch of cables together. HDMI to, you'll need the capture card, so it has HDMI on one side and USB type A on the other, and you just use a bunch of adapters and you connect it to your phone and basically do it that way. There are some notes for each camera I added, like can you charge it. So for let's go back to the DJI. So DJI, it looked like you can charge the phone, because you'll connect them both, and both of them, they have batteries and they will be draining batteries. And I'm like, if you want to do a longer stream, you will want to stream for hours, can you charge them both while you're doing it? So it looked like with DJI you can, I was able to charge a phone but not a camera. And for Sony and for GoPro, it looked like it was the other way around. I can charge cameras but not the phone. That's just the way. And then there's two apps, USB camera and CameraFi Live. So USB camera has two versions: free version that has ads, and pro version that is a one-time payment to remove ads. And CameraFi is a subscription that has a 1 month free trial, I think. So I was playing around with these apps. So yeah, they can take what's good about them is that it can take this signal, UVC signal, as input and use that, and they can stream SRT HEVC, RTMP, like different protocols, which are pretty good for what we need to do. It has lots of routing options, or both of them do, and you can also add a phone camera as an overlay or picture-in-picture, and you have like video from two cameras in one shot. It's pretty nice, and they both can stream in the background, so you can use other apps and they will just be in the background, and even with the phone locked, so that's pretty nice. So camera, where did I put my face? I don't know. Let's put it here. So comparing to IRL Pro, which is sort of like a main live streaming app for this purpose, IRL Pro cannot really do USB or UVC as a source, so both of these apps can do it. And then the video quality and audio is pretty good, and minimum compression. CameraFi has this other like integrations with YouTube and Twitch, and it can show chat and allow you editing description and title of your stream. And USB camera app has all kinds of interesting options that can like auto start based on different triggers. When you connect the camera, it can start streaming right away, so that's kind of interesting and nice. The cons: both of these apps have no bonding. You cannot really use multiple connections or SIM cards to make more internet for your stream. But if you build a bit of a more complicated stream, so you can you can stream from them to another phone or to Belabox or to something that will give you bonding. So if that makes sense. It's a bit more complicated setup, but it's doable. I was able to do it. For example, I have a Belabox, so I just stream into Belabox, and then that's how I get my bond in if I want that. But it's just a lot more stuff to carry. The reason I'm doing this is to sort of like have a very lightweight setup, so you have to decide if you want it or not. If you want that extra weight, a bit hard. When I was streaming with them, actually during the actual streaming, sometimes I'm not sure what's going on. No bitrate is shown, and sometimes hard to understand like the status. But yeah, the good thing is you get the preview. You actually can see yourself on screen with minimum delay. That's pretty nice. But yeah, you can monitor yourself that way. But yes, the stream itself, you have to find a good way to monitor the stream itself. And then CameraFi has a variable / dynamic bitrate for SRT, and I was testing that, and it didn't look that great. Like it didn't lower bitrate fast enough when there's not enough internet. I want to test it some more, but yeah, it's not as good as like IRL Pro app, Moblin app, or Belabox. I feel like it's not as doesn't react fast enough. And the major con is in the end, even in the most basic setup, when you can do DJI Osmo Action 4 connected with a cable to the phone, it's still a wire, and it's like still limits you physically, and it's yeah, it's that, which is it. It's a con in a way. But then the fact that you're connected with the cable, it means if the cable is good, the connection is good, and it just works. If it works, it works, which is great. And I thought it's worth mentioning Belabox. So let me show you my Belabox. So that's my Belabox. So it's an Orange Pi Plus, I think, the hardware, and then it has Belabox software on it, and it has you see it has like 3 HDMI ports, which is pretty wild. So one of those is an input and 2 outputs, I think. So this one has, if you want to go wired and you're serious about live streaming, I think it's a great option. So you can plug, let's say you have this Sony, just get one cable that goes straight from your camera into Belabox, and you're good. Same deal with Action 4. You can just connect with one cable, and you can also take out the battery, and this will be powered by the Belabox. So that's really nice. And then as for, so let me go back a bit. Yeah. As for iOS, iPhones, iPads, iPhones are very limited as far as I know. Even those that have USB port. There are some exotic ways but you have to research that. There's ways to do this, but it's a bit more complicated sometimes. And iPads seem to work with USB, so you can just again connect. Yeah, iPads should work basically.